Hello, welcome to the Craft House Magic YouTube channel. Today I'm going to chat to you about how to knit in the dark or in low light. Now I tend to knit in the cinema or if I'm watching television at home with the lights low. So there is some light, but it's not ideal relying on your eyes to knit with. So I've got 5 tips to help you knit in the dark or in low light. So number 1 is to try and feel with your fingers what the needles are doing. So I am feeling where the tip of the needle is when I'm putting it in to the stitch, so that I don't really need to look at what I'm doing. I'm just knitting by feel rather than by sight. Tip number 2 is to use circular needles rather than DPNs, where you don't have to change a needle, so that actually you might drop one of those DPN needles when you're actually knitting in the round. You can just keep on knitting. Tip number 3 is don't use stitch markers actually on your needles, because you will drop those. If you're knitting in the dark, you won't see where they've gone and they'll be lost forever. Tip number 4 is stick to a simple pattern. I tend to knit plain knit stockinette stitch, or a 2x2 rib or 1x1 rib, something quite simple. So if you're starting out with knitting in low light, I'd stick to just plain and knit, and then you know what the next stitch is going to be. If you stop halfway through a row watching the tension bit in a film, you know what the next stitch is going to be when you get started again. Number 5 is practice. Now what I would advise is knitting away and try and keep your eyes away from your knitting just for a few seconds, and you can try and do that a little bit longer each time, and then finally you'll be used to knitting away without looking at your knitting too much. And I would say that I did end up knitting for quite some time before I could knit in low light levels, and I've really got the mechanical memory, so don't expect it to happen straight away. You really just need to practice. So bonus tip is, if you really need to see what you're doing and you are in somewhere where there's low light, use a head torch. I've got one. I just pop on my head, put the light on, and you can just see what you're doing for a few seconds. Now if you are in the car, you could actually drive along with the head torch on, but obviously you can't when you're at the cinema, so you wouldn't be able to use a light when you're in somewhere like a cinema or anything. But last resort, you can quickly get it, turn it on, check what you're doing and get back on track. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye.